Animazement, are you ready? That's what I like to hear. My name is Sean Ryan. I'm the host of the Method to Madness podcast and executive producer of AlphaCounter.com, and you are attending the Mating Habits of the Modern Otaku panel. Here we're going to be dispensing some advice to you of how to survive geek dating amongst the geek species and survive the anime con jungle. But first, I'd like to introduce our mistress of ceremonies, the host of the Mating Habits of the Modern Geek podcast, Ms. Kelley Hightower.
Hello, thank you. Yes, I am the host of Mating Habits of the Modern Geek, advice on love and dating within your own species. And joining us to my right is an old anime favorite, Animazement favorite, and a sometimes co-host to Mating Habits, William Bloodworth.
Hi, everybody. As mentioned, if you've been around Animazement for more than about 4 or 5 years, I'm the guy who used to run the AMV contest. I'm the William who used to be on the forums. Yeah, don't do that. And for the most part, you may or may not have heard of me. I've got that expired con famous, so I had to sneak back in somehow because you just can't leave that life behind you. But yeah, I think we're going to talk about stuff.
I think so. Well, first, I guess once you're entering the dating scene, you have to deal with the state of being single.
Right. So what I try to do on the podcast is give sort of a starting point for, okay, you're tired of being single and you're ready to actually get out there and meet new people. And one of the things that the how to pick up chicks panels don't really talk to you about is you're going to get rejected, and it takes practice, and you have to put yourself out there. So one of the things I'd like to do, sort of just as a sort of like an icebreaker for us, who here is single? Just show of hands. There you go.
Ain't no shame.
Hey.
It's actually pretty cool.
It's cool, guys. We're all born that way.
I know.
It's natural.
And by the end of the con, that number will change, and other people will raise their hands, and some people put their hands down. So because of that, one of the main things that you have to do is you have to learn how to introduce yourself to new people and to just kind of get over the fear and the panic of it. So, hey, everybody, kind of turn to the person next to you that you don't know and say, hey, my name is, insert name here.
Turn to your left, and then turn to your right.
See?
We're already a good group, aren't we?
Yes.
This is the best con to do this.
That's exactly right.
Right.
See how easy that was?
And if you've just walked in from the back, by all means, walk up and introduce yourself to someone who has an empty seat.
It's true. Yeah, do we have any more? There's a couple more empty seats up here, too.
Front row.
Couple more seats. So see how totally easy that was? If you do that at least 10 times a day, you're gonna find some people who want to talk to you and who you can date. So practice, be brave, and you can see what happens.
Yeah, in all honesty, everyone here has at least one thing in common with you. So it should be good. Just the ones with their hands up were single, as far as I could tell. But all anime fans, all willing to go to Animazement, all willing to go to a panel, which means you're single, but you might not necessarily want to be that way. So you've already narrowed things down immensely.
Yes, you've improved your chances.
One of the key things of being single, I think, is that even if you're faced with constant rejection, or at least you just have a dry spell for a while, is to just never lose hope. Because the key to the whole thing is to be secure in yourself. And as long as you're secure in yourself, then things will kind of naturally gravitate toward you. I always find that if you're kind of directing yourself so that love and finding your soulmate is your life goal, you're going to start setting yourself up for a long, kind of sad existence. It's going to be a lot of defeat, and it's going to be very discouraging. So to really find success just in general is to find other things within yourself to be passionate about. And coming to conventions like this is a great place to find that, because it's one thing to just stand in your room all day and watch anime or play video games. And what really gives you the energy in life is to not just consume the art that we love, but to generate a passion for it and actually participate in it. So that, let's say you're really into, I was describing to someone earlier, as a matter of fact, what person do you think actually has more of a joie de vivre that is actually more attractive? Someone who sits and watches sports or even plays sports games, or someone who grabs a ball and heads to the b-ball court? It's the person who's actually, I mean, physicality aside, it's the person who's actually getting involved that I think you gravitate towards.
No, of course. And, you know, I hate to even put it out there, but you're not going to meet anybody at home.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you live somewhere really cool or really scary where new people can wander in.
Don't live there.
You have to get out there. And the thing the thing that I have the reason I did the podcast is because I've done a lot of dating. People have done a lot of dating. And one of the things you have to do to be successful at dating is get over the fact that people are going to tell you no. People tell you no every day in your daily lives. No, you can't go 80 miles an hour on the street. No, you can't rob a bank. And the more people you go up and ask out on a date, if you ask 100 people, 90 might say no, but 10 will say yes, and therefore you're successful. So getting used to the fact that you're going to get rejected and that's okay. Everybody gets rejected. Everyone. There are people out there who you know think that Brad Pitt's ugly and don't like Angelina Jolie. They're wrong, but they're the people are out there. So yeah. So what do you, Sean? What do you think about breaking the ice and pickup lines?
Well, it was like you were describing earlier with the whole pickup artist thing. It gets under my skin because it seems like people who are looking for that angle, they think that hooking up with someone, you just have to recite this magical incantation. Like you say just the right magic words and just panties will just fall down. That's not how it works.
We have tried. This word doesn't exist.
No.
And from the other side, I can tell you it doesn't exist.
Because the reality is, if you're looking to actually talk with someone, it's not a pickup line that's going to capture them. It's finding that right icebreaker. It's finding that common ground to start a conversation.
Right.
And it's the conversation that'll draw you two closer together.
Also, women have heard every single icebreaker that's ever existed.
And laughed.
And we get it. I mean, like, unless here's a phrase you could utter. Hi, my name is Benedict Cumberbatch, and mean it. Panties will come off. None of us can do that.
It's worked for one guy so far.
For one guy.
And it worked really well.
Maybe multiple times. And in the future, call me. But yeah, it's the pickup line thing. Like, you know, if you're just looking to go out and have a wild one-night stand, I can tell you how to do that. It'll take you about 5 minutes, and we can talk after the panel. If you're here looking to actually have a good experience, sharing some time with someone else, possibly finding the love of your life or the love of right now, it takes some effort. It takes some practice. Like, you know, basically anything you want to do and you want to be good at.
Yeah, the kind of people that the pickup artist stuff actually works on, they're only about 2 or 3 Jello shots away from banging you anyway. So it's really
This is true.
not that, it's like you don't have to put into that much study and work into it.
Yeah.
We're not looking for super easy mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things about pickup lines is that, and this is actually one of the first audiences I can make this reference to and gets it.
Okay.
When you walk up to a stranger, a little box doesn't appear with 3 to 6 choices. And you can't look up an FAQ that's going to tell you which one works and which one doesn't.
Takes you wrong the right
You don't get the little
dialogue
heart
tree.
thing that tells you what's going on, and you don't really get like the Paragon and Renegade options that somehow work out.
Yeah.
Real people are more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Having actual chemistry and conversation with people is a lot more organic. It's something you can't nail down to a dialogue tree and predict where it's going to go. It's all about the person's personality, where they're from, what they're about, and how that meshes even with your own personality. Because for all you know, you're going to talk to someone you think is really hot from across the room. As soon as they open their mouth, it's like,
It's a hot
ooh,
mess.
Yes.
That's the difference. Well, so we can say this all day long, and you can listen or not. But I think it's important to kind of do some general do's and don'ts.
Well, I had one little pro tip for the breaking the ice.
Okay.
One thing that I think helps in terms of kind of creating like a dialogue with someone, you can maybe call this a trick, I don't know, but whenever I introduce myself, I always give my name first and I never ask for their name. And that's something you guys were doing earlier when you shook hands. There's some kind of, you can kind of like trace it back to, I guess like the Rumpelstiltskin folklore where knowing someone's name gives them you power over them, and there's a little bit of that.
We're all wizards secretly.
So really,
Secret nothing.
I kind of see it as I'm surrendering my blade to you. Here's my name, and about 99 times out of 100, they'll just naturally reciprocate. Because really, if you just start laying into someone with questions like, "What's your name? Where are you from? What shows do you watch?" who is the milkman?
Yeah, I'm not sleeping with that guy.
It sounds like an interrogation, and it makes them really uncomfortable and want to get away from you as soon as possible.
This is very true. Well, yeah. So that kind of leads to the do's and don'ts about the being confident versus being creepy. I've done a dozen episodes about confidence, and a lot of people have taken that and run with it. And a lot of people have taken that to mean that sort of creepy confidence. It isn't really confidence; it's intensity. And intensity, especially in a big group of people or with strangers, and especially for women. We do this very generally, like we're talking to men who want to date women. We're equal opportunity. But especially for women who don't know you, that sort of intensity, because in your mind you're going, oh my God, we're going to have like 1 million babies together. I just saw her yesterday, but or 10 minutes ago, but this is the woman for me. And she just doesn't understand how amazing our life is going to be together. You can have that dialogue in your head. But the whole sort of like, there's a difference between staring at someone and, and saying, hi, my name is Kelley, nice to meet you, as opposed to, hi, my name's Kelley, nice to meet you.
Got to work the inflection in there.
It's easy to say, once again, I know people get nervous and they don't know what they're doing, but there's just sort of an honesty to, hey, I'm having a conversation with you, we don't know each other, but, hi, my name's so-and-so, nice to meet you. Versus that, I have to say everything I ever want to say to you in our entire lives together right now so you won't run away. Where are you going? Where are you going? And
yeah, you're not trying to sell a car. I mean, you're not trying to work in a pitch or anything.
I mean, and I guess I've done that where it's just like, please, God, just don't leave me. I love you. Love me.
Because
you can do that internally.
To be fair, if you're approaching someone else, you have to be kind of like testing the waters as well, because you're trying to sell yourself to them in a way, but at the same time, be realistic and being aware of how they are, because you don't know if they're not going to jibe with you either. Like I said, from across the room, they make it look amazing. But when you start talking with them, it's like, okay, they're super racist or just
terrible.
Yeah, just terrible, terrible people.
Yeah.
Don't be super racist or terrible.
Yes.
Don't. I know you want to, don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's a method to when you're going up and you're introducing yourself to someone, like let's say there's someone who's cosplaying, and they've done a really good job, and you go up to them and you're like, hey, it's an amazing costume, great job, and you say, my name is Kelley, nice to meet you, and then you can if there's a conversation, great, keep it going. But the second someone stops a conversation, especially a woman, the second it's like, oh, well, I gotta go meet my friends, or oh, thanks, nice to meet you, and they do that sort of turn away. Just leave. You'll find them again. It's a small world, especially even at conventions. You'll see them again. What you never want to do is leave someone with the impression of, oh my gosh, that person was annoying. You always want to leave them wanting more. And the coolest person in the room is the person who comes up and says, hey, nice to meet you. Here's a thing that, we've had this small conversation. Hope to see you around, and turn around and leave. Drives ladies crazy. It's way better than just please don't leave, please don't get out of my sight, I'm going to follow you around the entire time, because you've lost all your chance at that point, because you've slipped over from confident to now you're someone we're going to have to call security about.
Yeah. Hanging out like a barnacle.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, great, now I've got this person to worry about.
And in general, what you're looking to do is communicate and speak. And if you try to tell someone your entire Facebook profile when you first talk to them, then you don't learn anything about them. They learn everything they would ever want to know about you, and then they learn about your Facebook profile. And then you've just got this situation where even if the conversation was starting to go somewhere, you get stuck and you don't know what to talk about.
Right.
Say hello, say your introduction, give them a reason to want to talk to you when they see you later.
Right.
And don't make them feel intimidated.
Sure. I mean, you will get to see them again. There's an art to leaving people wanting more, as opposed to I've had enough of this person.